Can a Rottweiler really face a tiger? It sounds absurd at first, laughable even. One's a domesticated guardian, the other is a wild killing machine. But this question has been circulating in videos, shorts, memes and conversations across India. Could a Rottweiler defend its owner against a tiger? The idea has captured imaginations and it's spreading like wildfire. But before you dismiss it or believe it, you need to hear the whole truth. Because behind this viral fantasy is a disturbing misunderstanding of what the Rottweiler truly is and what it's not. Let's set the stage. You're walking in a rural area, maybe near a forested village. You have your trusted Rottweiler at your side. Suddenly, something shifts in the air. Your dog stops, ears forward, body stiff. You hear a rustle, and from the tall grass emerges a tiger. Not a metaphor, not a cartoon. A real full-grown apex predator. Eyes locked, muscles loaded. Death walking on four legs. What does your Rottweiler do? The fantasy says it lunges, it protects, it dies for you. The fantasy says the Rottweiler will hold the tiger off long enough for you to run. Maybe it even wins. But the truth? It's more complicated and far more powerful than fiction. Let's talk biology. A full-grown Bengal tiger weighs over 220 kilograms. It has claws designed to crush and grip. It has a bite force of over 1000 psi, enough to crack bones like twigs. A Rottweiler? Around 50 to 60 kilograms. Bite force? Roughly 320 psi. Strong, but not even in the same league. On paper, the Rottweiler doesn't stand a chance. In a direct fight, it would be over in seconds. Brutal, one-sided, devastating. But here's where the conversation shifts. The real question isn't whether a Rottweiler could win a fight, it's whether a Rottweiler would stand its ground. And the answer? Yes, without hesitation, without calculation. A Rottweiler that sees you in danger would position itself between you and death, regardless of the odds. That's not speculation. That's what makes them legendary. Because the Rottweiler doesn't guard your home because it thinks it can win every fight, it guards your home because it has already decided that your life is worth more than its own. And if danger comes, it won't run, it won't negotiate, it won't flinch. That's not bravado. That's bonding. That's loyalty at a level most humans will never understand. So while a Rottweiler can't beat a tiger in a physical showdown, it can do something far more heroic. It can delay, distract, give you just enough time to climb, to run, to hide. Not because you ordered it, but because it chose to. And that choice, that's what separates this dog from every other breed in the world. But let's back up. Why is this question even being asked? Why are Indian viewers so captivated by the idea of a Rottweiler facing a tiger? The answer lies deeper than clicks or curiosity. It lies in our relationship with protection. In a country where many feel unsafe, where news stories of violence and invasion are a daily reality, people want to believe that their dog could be more than a deterrent. They want to believe their Rottweiler could be a savior, a warrior, a guardian against the unimaginable. And that belief, Ivadim, is powerful, but it also carries risk. Because when fantasy replaces preparation, people start expecting their dogs to perform miracles. And that's unfair. The Rottweiler is a phenomenal guardian. Not because of its ability to destroy, but because of its ability to discern. It knows when to act, when to wait, when to move. That intelligence is what makes it so effective. not just its size. People see the stocky body, the heavy head, the muscular frame, and they think, this dog can take on anything. But the real power is in the Rottweiler's mind. It watches, it evaluates, it predicts behavior, it senses tone, intention, movement. If a stranger walks in pretending to be calm, but with bad intent, the Rottweiler knows. It doesn't need a growl or a bark. Its body simply moves between you and the unknown. Quiet, solid, present, and sometimes that presence alone is enough to stop something before it starts. But let's be brutally honest. A tiger is not a burglar. A tiger is not a drunk relative. A tiger is not a neighborhood thief. It's a perfect predator. And no dog, Rottweiler or otherwise, can match it toe to toe. What your dog can do is become a buffer, a sacrifice, a moment of disruption that changes the outcome. And if you've built a deep, respectful bond with your Rottweiler, it won't think twice. That's the heartbreaking part, because if you've done everything right, your dog may die for you. And most people don't realize the emotional weight of that until it's too late. We talk about loyalty, about protection. But what happens when your dog actually gives everything? Would you feel safe or shattered? This isn't a joke, it's a real moral question. What kind of life do we want with our dogs? Do we want them to be weapons or witnesses, guardians or martyrs? That decision doesn't begin when a tiger appears. It begins the moment you bring that dog home. And in India, where wild encounters are still possible in rural zones, and where urban threats come in human form, the Rottweiler becomes more than a breed. It becomes a statement, a living line between your family and everything you fear. So no, a Rottweiler can't beat a tiger, but it can do something far more courageous. It can face one, eyes locked, chest forward, no escape plan, just a silent promise that says, you'll have to go through me first. That's not dominance, that's devotion, and it's real. We've seen stories of dogs protecting children from leopards, of street dogs chasing off bears, of loyal companions putting their bodies between a cobra and their owner. So if you think it's impossible for a Rottweiler to do the same with a tiger, you don't know the breed yet. But if you do own one, really own one, you already know. This dog doesn't just bark, it doesn't just bite, it chooses. And if it has chosen you as its mission, then yes, it will face the tiger. It won't win, but it'll give you something even greater than victory. Time. Time to escape. Time to live. Time to remember what love looks like in its most sacrificial form. So the next time someone asks, can a Rottweiler face a tiger? You'll know the answer. Yes. But not because it's strong. Because it's loyal, because it's bonded, because it doesn't hesitate, because you matter more to it than its own life. That is the truth. And it should shock not just India, but the whole world.